We are back to talk Survivor 43, our power rankings for the week. We have some interesting dynamics this week for anybody who's not keeping up with Little Brother. Spoiler alert, Fanguy and Aspen voted Mike's ass out this past week. So this should be an interesting podcast. But how are y'all doing with Survivor?
That shit happened months ago. I've had my time to emotionally recover, but nah. Little Brother is way more exciting than Survivor. If you're watching Survivor but you're not watching Little Brother, you're missing out. Even
You
though
are.
I have departed at this, you are still missing out. Wonderful cast, exciting times. So tune in. Saturday's the big battle back episode. Good time to check
Yes.
in and see what's going on. So
Fan
catch up
guy,
before.
how are you? Also, one I want to plug your YouTube channel again, Josh Fan Guy on
Nah.
YouTube. He helped you win some money last week, so go for it.
Look, if you followed my lock, I make 4 lock picks every week. If you followed my locks last week, you went 4-0. If you followed them the week before, you went 3-1. We're 7-1 on the years right now. I got no complaints. Yeah, hit me up. We'll make some money for
Give
sure.
us a teaser. Give us a teaser right here.
Oh God, I am not in the right headspace for that. I'm in Survivor mode. I'll think of something by the end. I'll send us off with that.
Okay, that works. I'll try to remember. Aspen, you've been absent the past 2 weeks. How you feeling catching up on the season of Survivor?
I'm feeling good. What's funny is I watched all 3 episodes today.
It didn't put you to sleep. It didn't put you to sleep.
I just watched them back to back. I was like at home, like unpacking my music equipment and stuff. So, um, it was. I mean, I was sad. I lost my girl, NECA, last week. Which honestly, I was like, you know what, y'all, she deserved to go. Yeah, it was time. It was time.
Mike disagrees hardcore.
Really?
Cody and Jesse are bums for voting her out when they did.
They are kind of bums. I'm not gonna disagree on that.
You missed the podcast last episode, Aspen. I had some choice words for those two.
We know Cody's your guy, and I defended him 2 weeks ago when you weren't here. He was
Okay.
very high on our list 2 weeks ago. He's dropped significantly since then. But
Damn, not my boy Cody.
yes.
He doing all right. I can't believe he's still here.
I can't either, to be honest. This past episode, though, Lindsay goes home. Very surprising. She was high on our list last week, very high on Fanguy's list. I think Fanguy thought that was going to be his winner pick, but not the case, Fanguy.
Was Lindsay on Fanguy's team?
Yeah.
Damn.
I did. I thought that of my remaining players last week, I thought she had the best chance to win. I think Ellie is still my winner pick from my gut. That's what I thought the whole way. But yeah, Lindsay leaving. Whoa. And, they were giving her decent edits. Like she wasn't getting a complete Heather, thing. She was actually getting shown a little bit. She seemed to be aware. Shocked. Is it? But for me, is it like it's the chicken or the egg thing? Because like we never know how it was edited. What was she paranoid because she was being targeted, or was she targeted because she was being paranoid? Because you know what I mean? Like those things are so close, but they're complete opposites.
I would like to think it's because she was paranoid, honestly. I feel like she was acting, she was worse than I've ever seen Days, honestly.
I was just gonna say, you've run games. Have you in your history seen paranoia actually create such a big target on oneself?
I think you this passing the little brother back at the beginning of the game, honestly. So yes, I have many occasions actually seen that happen.
I feel like she got somehow too big for her britches despite never attending a tribal council. She's like, I'm a triple threat. Of course they're targeting me. Girl, it's your first tribal. If you go into it as a newbie with that mindset, you're effed. Like that was literally like that was like half of my personality in this little brother season, and that was as a returnee. If I'd have walked into Survival 1's tribal like that, I would have been out the door first boot on that tribe, and I wasn't. So, just saying, you gotta messy. Cannot believe how quickly she tanked herself.
Yeah, I honestly think the reason why this was both shocking but still underwhelming for me is because, like, the edit for this tribe has been so not very high. I mean, other than Carla, we're not getting a big edit of this tribe, so I think that's the reason it was really so shocking because we don't really know these people and we don't really know the dynamics of this tribe, so it's hard to really call it.
Yeah, we even noticed that Ryan and Gio's vote was different this week,
Yeah.
which tells me that, we'll get to that, but a lot of the dynamics that we think are necessarily in play or may not be in play.
Well, let's start the bottom four with our bottom two. Despite not going home this week, Gio remains in the bottom four. And Cody also remains in the bottom four. Aspen, sorry.
Now I barely ranked Cody,
Oh.
but that's a little harsh. But I guess we'll just touch on Gio. Like Gio's definitely the next out of that tribe. Like unless they just do too much, which is a problem. So it very well could happen. Which is why I got really really upset at the NECA boot. Like someone could do too much, and we could see someone who has no business catching a stray on that tribe. Although with how this season's going, it's going to be all women that are going to get voted out. So I don't know why we're ranking any women when
True.
But Gio, I don't see it. He thought he was running the tribe and clearly
and
was
voted
not.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he wasn't even let in on the plan to put Lindsay out. And that says a lot. That Ryan was obviously in with that group and that Gio wasn't. Gio's next to go for a blue.
How about your boy Cody, Aspen? Why is he so low?
Yeah, exactly. Why is my boy Cody so low? Did y'all not see my boy get all them bees like that? That was so strategic.
I mean,
Wasn't
But
his
yes.
business.
It was really NECA that helped him with that, though, honestly. But also, I do think his salesperson did come through in this last episode with the whole throwback to Pearl Islands where you get to steal something from a tribe.
True. He was being kind of savage. Exactly. I mean, like, he went over there and he finessed the fuck out of them, yo.
He did finesse.
He got food. He got fish and stuff, all kinds of stuff, just because he threatened to take the machete.
It was a smart player.
I don't understand why he's so low. Y'all let me in on it.
I think on a game level, he's been a mess. But go ahead, Fanga.
I don't think it's a smart play. I think it's an entertaining play. I think it's hella entertaining as a viewer to watch and like savage on the most primal level. So like it makes me like him more as a person, the anti-salesman who goes and sells the shit out of something during the game.
Yeah.
Like that's just epic. But like in a merge situation, you just went and just gouged these people. And like, if that gets back at some point that it was his idea because his tribe didn't send him over to do that, like he's just gonna look like such a schmuck. And like, no, like everyone's gonna be like, "What a fucking schmuck," and it's just done.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen because it ain't gonna get back. They just gonna let it go because he was being charismatic, like he was like, "Aloha."
He pissed off an entire tribe. Remains to be seen if that's a good or bad thing. Like, I would not want to be the guy going over to another camp stealing from them.
True. He was very gung-ho about it.
He was way too excited.
He fought
His own tribe doesn't trust him to not fuck it up. They're like, well, there he goes. It's like sending a kid off to school. Like they don't. No one. He's got nothing. I ranked him at 10 just because he's actually got an edit, but I already regret it. He sucks. I'm back to he sucks. The second he turned on NECA, like screw you, buddy. Like you had that one thing going for you was you literally made the other side blink first and you threw it away because you couldn't do a puzzle fast enough. Okay. Yeah. Screw you, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, I still like him to an extent as a character, but at a game level, he just ain't doing it for me, Aspen. I'm sorry. Maybe he'll get back in my good graces, but for now, he's your new Xander Jonathan. Don't know what to tell you.
At
It's
best.
always one. It's always me. Huh. You know what?
Go ahead.
We just gonna walk. I ain't gonna debate y'all because I'm gonna let him do his thing. And when he's sitting at final 3, then we'll have this discussion again.
Well, your white guy picks, they do tend to go far. They don't tend to make it to final 3, but maybe.
I know how to pick white guys.
Rounding out the bottom 4, Gabler finally ends up in the bottom 4 where he belongs, and Janine stays there.
Aw, I finally ranked Janine. It wasn't enough, but Gabler has no gas. He's got no energy, and he's draping palm fronds over people in the middle of the night, acting like that's gonna do anything. And like they were so deeply offended, like that you could tell they were so tired they weren't acting it up for the camera. He was just like, "Someone put this on me." Like Sammy's like, "What is this?" And then they were just like so irritated with Gabler. And then the next morning he's like, "Did that help?" And they're like, "No." He's like, "Okay, I'm going back to bed." He's so bad. I barely ranked him, and he has an idol. Like I barely ranked him, and he has an idol. He's
not doing it for me either.
He's bad.
No, I think that's the one we all can agree on. It's a like common consensus. This motherfucker sucks. He gonna say it's a blanket. I would have spazzed on him right then.
Don't wake me the fuck up. No. I don't like being woken up. Maybe for sex, maybe, and that's only a sometimes thing. Sometimes not even for that. Don't wake me up, especially to put some fucking palm fronds on. You know how hard it is to probably go to sleep out there. Like you know how hard it probably is to fall asleep, and now you got fucking like weak, slender man Gabler fucking fragilely and frailly putting palm fronds on you while you're sleeping. That's a fucking nightmare. No thank you, Gabler.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I don't know if Janine's stock is rising any either, honestly. I feel like it's still the thing we've been saying for weeks now, that she could be caught in the crossfires of Allie. I don't see how that's changed yet.
I've literally gave her the wrong name when I ranked her. Like
I know
Nick was like, "Why'd you rank Justine?" And I'm like, "Oh shit,
she's been gone for 2 weeks."
Yeah, no, I ranked her just because I had to rank someone, and screw the Red Tribe. So I ranked Janine just because of that.
Any other thoughts on our bottom 4? Wow, fan guy, don't get too excited over there. Don't get too excited, but it finally paid off. Cassidy has gone out of our bottom and been ranked. Cassidy is number 10
in her proper ranking because she's a fucking 10 to me. To me, she's 10. So this could not be ranked more perfectly and appropriately. Well done, rankers.
We got her in there, but
so we're just making people up now. There's a Cassidy now. Is that what you're trying to lead me to believe?
Right, who is that?
Exactly. I mean, she did finally get some airtime. She was supposed to be the target, and then she wasn't the target. So I mean, gotta give her some credit for that, I suppose. I mean, it was Lindsay's own undoing, but
no, somehow Cassidy's gonna go before Gio, because they're gonna look at it and go, "Shit, Cassidy's a woman. We need to vote her out," because that's what's happening this season. So somehow, some way, Gio is gonna survive over Cassidy. That's
actually one last thing about Gio I wanted to ask Aspen and Mike, because I feel like he was getting the sob stories for 2 episodes in a row, and then he was their gay character, and then in Survivor fashion, he basically becomes the petty gay trope in this past episode. I felt like that was his only edit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. He I don't know, it's just that's Survivor for you.
Yeah, they so extra. They can't let people just like live. They like, he was a petty gay guy, and now he still is doing the same thing, and it's sad because he probably is a nice dude, but like everybody getting annoyed with him. He overstepping. Like he honestly been annoying. I probably want to vote his ass out too, and not because he gay. He don't got shit to do with that.
But it could just be the edit. Although his voting makes it seem like it's not just the edit.
This is going to be the first season that every woman is voted out before the men. Like,
Another reason why we shouldn't have been so shocked about the vote out this week, because women's alliances, do they ever really pan out? You know, there's always one person in a women's alliance, Aspen, who is, you know, trying to go against the grain, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
there's always one.
There's always at least one.
There's always one.
It's always one.
Anyway, back to forgettable Cassidy, Fangaya. Why is she in your rankings constantly? Fangaya.
Who, Cassidy?
Yes,
I ranked her at 10 because I think she's a 10. And I didn't anybody behind her, which were exactly, I believe, the 4 that were down there.
Yeah.
I thought were awful. So at least she's cute and she gets a couple confessionals here and there. She's got that Austin, Texas energy. I'm telling you, like, I'm about it.
I ranked her 2 for once.
I ranked her at 10. She's on the Blue Tribe, which I also like.
Any other thoughts on Cassidy? Aspen or Mike?
No.
All right, well then, Noelle comes in at number 9.
I probably should have ranked Noelle over Gabler, but I ranked Gabler because Gabler has an idol, and I feel like that's better than a vote steal on this tribe. Props to Noelle for helping the other tribe. I think it was her initiative. Was it not her that first stepped in and said, "Hey, do this"?
Yeah.
I think if we're going to touch on that, I think that was a good move. I feel like at the merge, that you want to pull in the majority of 2 tribes to control the merge. And what better way to solidify that by not stealing from a tribe and then helping them win the challenge? Like, I think it was a smart decision. Like, that's my feelings on it. Sure, Blue Tribe might be pissed at you, but that's not going to matter. They're never going to outnumber you at the merge now that they've lost. It's not going to happen. We're not merging at 10, so it's not like you're going to go in 5-5. So as long as you don't F it up, they're going to F it up. But as long as you don't F it up, you have a numerical majority, and you could just pick this Blue Tribe off one by one, which is not going to happen, but let's pretend it can.
Alex was in the chat last week saying that Noelle should be a lot higher in her rankings, but I think he's very high on Noelle. I mean, she did survive last week over NECA. She has a bit of an upper hand in that tribe. But I mean, still, she's like one of the people, like, how do they let her get to the end? That's what we've been saying since the draft.
Yeah, it's why she was my first pick of the whole draft, was because I was like, well, this is someone who, if they end up at the end, are probably going to win. So, yeah, they shouldn't let her get that far. But I think from where she was at to where she's at now, she's done really good. I think this is, about where I ranked her.
Yeah, me too.
I think if I did, I think that she, okay, the one comment I did want to say is, my boy Cody gonna say, she was like, thank y'all for keeping me. He was like, yeah, now you better perform or some shit. He was like, she'll take that leg off and she'll swim, and I'm just like, bro, chill out. But I mean, she fucking did though, and so like, not that she should have to prove herself, that she can perform and compete just as good as anybody with 2 legs, but I feel like she did at that point. So
she's been putting her money where her mouth is.
She did.
Yeah, that's my problem with Noelle, is that her whole edit is always just used to like lift other people up essentially, or to give you a measuring stick for other people. Like she'll be like, yes, I lost my leg in a tragic moped accident, and then we'll have to hear a story from Cody about how his best friend lost their leg. Like, bruh, literally they're just using this woman's story to tell us more about flippin' Cody.
Lord.
That's what they've done. So like that was the moment I knew Noelle was dead in the water. I'm sorry. That was like 2 episodes ago. But it's just that's the moment I knew Noelle was dead in the water.
Can't argue against that.
No, that is so true. That is so true.
Although the editing this season, like, what do you think about the editing this season? I think the editing is helping it be more boring, but also like, I don't know who the winner is going to be, but I don't know if that's a good thing. I feel like it's more like Survivor 41, where the winner is going to be somebody who's under edited, and we're not gonna
Stupid.
like it.
I feel like I know who the winner is at this point.
Who?
I think it's gonna be Carla.
I have it narrowed down to 3, and that's who I think she's in she's in the 3 I think it could be.
I don't think so.
I could definitely see it being other people. But if you held a gun to my head and said pick one person, I would say Carla.
Well, we'll get to that when we get there. But any other thoughts on Noelle? Well, coming up at number 8, same spot as last week, is Jesse.
Talk about a fall from grace. Jesse, you're still off of my list because screw you for voting out NECA. And also, Fan Guy's right. You don't have the killer instinct. Killer instinct would have taken that damn machete away. You don't got it, kid. You don't got it. I'm going to be so mad if he wins. I don't know why. I don't like him.
Well, he lives
Since
in
he
a
voted out
cul-de-sac
NECA.
nag. How can he have that killer instinct, Van?
Okay. I don't care.
He can't.
I don't
He
care.
doesn't. I'm telling you, this is the guy whose older brother was in a gang, and he just hung around the gang, and they're like, "You're in the gang," and he's like this little kid who's like, "I'm in the gang, I'm in the gang," you know, which is still not a great environment to grow up in. Don't get me wrong, but you know, this dude just ain't like, you could just tell looking at somebody if they're like hard, like this dude just ain't hard like a real G, like he's just not, and. So yeah, but I still think he's got a good chance to win because I think they're editing him editing the hell out of him, giving him a big ass edit. So I still think he's got a good chance to win. I had him ranked significantly higher than this.
I live like a minute walk from a cul-de-sac, and I could go get someone more badass than Jesse right now. Like, no, just because you live in a cul-de-sac doesn't mean you can't still have a killer instinct for
Touche.
a game, for anything, that you can't have like an extra gear of charisma. I think he's just like fallen into everything that his position of power that he's got so far. Like, because the other 2 pairs on that tribe were targeting each other harder or some shit. And then he pretty much rolled over the second Dwight got Dwight's vote back. That's exactly what I see happening. Like the second Dwight had a modicum of power, Jesse's just like, oh well, I can't. Pineapple Zone. I can't fight back. I'm not in a gang anymore. Like I don't know where this irrational dislike came from. I don't, but something about it, man.
I don't know. I kind of feel it. I don't really like him either, and he's boring, so I really can't get behind him.
Yeah.
That's my
And, like-
biggest problem. I'm sorry. It's the same reason I hate Tommy. Like, and I feel like he could be like the Tommy of the season. Like, I'm definitely not discounting him in any way, shape, or form. But like, so fucking boring, and I don't need to hear the same shit every week. Like, oh, I'm a teacher. I was a gang member. Now I'm a dad. Like, I don't need to hear it.
What were we gonna say, Aspen?
He, in fact, is giving very, very fake gangster vibes. It's kind of sad, honestly. You know, he's like, yeah, bro, like she grew up like in the neighborhood next to me, and like I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about how you a reformed teacher. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, you should have took the machete, bitch.
You don't think somebody that was hard before could like soften by the time you're 30?
You can, but you still gonna have that killer instinct, you know? Like,
Touche.
you gotta have it in
You're
you.
right. All right, we move on to number 7, which is Owen, who continues to go up. in our rankings.
Let's go, Owen. That's my boy, ain't it?
Yep.
He doing good.
Nothing else to say about it.
I mean, what do we really get to say about
Yeah,
Owen? There's nothing really to say about Owen. He just seems to be like in a way better spot than Gabler on
Yeah.
that tribe, possibly better than Sammy. That's debatable. We don't really know those dynamics because they haven't really shown us much anymore. But and then it showed him in the preview, which I always enjoy, getting some information and running to tell somebody something or something like that. It looked very action packed. So yeah, let's go, Owen.
It looks like he got the Beware advantage from the preview, but I'm not going to make assumptions off of previews when I'm ranking
can't.
people. I try and stay away from that. I feel like on paper, as it stands in this episode, Owen is in the best spot on the Yellow Tribe. Yet I ranked at least Sammy higher than Owen, just because of the edit that we are getting, or in Owen's case, not getting, even though it looks like he's the swing vote on paper. Modern Survivor's stupid, and things like that don't always end up actually mattering or working out.
I mean, honestly, we just have to repeat the same thing we talked about last week, is that he's might be in the middle of that tribe, which is a good position for him, and we'll see if that actually plays out that way. I don't know if he'll have the Beware advantage because, like we always say, the preview is always showing the opposite of what's actually happening, so who really knows? But he's grown on me. I think he has potential, but we have to actually see that potential play out and get more edits from that tribe.
The season needs a swap.
Oh, God,
This
yes, it
season
does.
needed
Not
a
getting one.
swap.
It's not getting one.
I
but-
know it's what it needed, though. I think that's the problem, is that there's no swap coming. So you have to look at these dynamics that shake out and just be like, this is what I have to look forward to. Is this shit for 3 more weeks?
It's a slog through the
I
first
don't
half of the
care
season.
about any of them. I don't, and the merge is just, these seasons need swaps. They suck without swaps. That, I think, is part of the problem, because we're
Mhm.
not seeing these bonds get tested because there's no shakeup. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
give them a mutiny or a swap, something to put new people in new tribes in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know how, as producers, they can't be watching this season and think it doesn't need a tribe swap. Honestly, it's not really working out so great for entertainment's sake. Let's move on to number 6, which is Sammy, also on that tribe. There's also probably not a lot to say.
No, but I wish he would stop being like, everybody thinks I'm 22, but I'm really 18. Like, I'm playing them all. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. You out there acting like a little kid. Shut up.
He can't act like a kid at times.
I thought I was gonna hate him preseason, but I kind of like him. He's I think besides the lying about his age thing, that he's pretty genuine to like himself. I don't really feel like he's playing it up for the cameras, which I feel like is something like young people do a lot.
Yeah.
So props to Sammy.
I second that completely. I thought I was going to hate this guy preseason, and I don't hate him. You know, he's okay.
Any other thoughts on Sammy?
Who got Sammy?
Boo Boo. Boo Boo, the only person who's yet to lose a person. Boo Boo has Sammy and Gio. The rest of us have at least all lost one person.
Damn.
Booba's gonna flip and do it again, I swear to God. Like, somehow, some way, Sammy's gonna skirt by to the end and win, and Gio's gonna be like the 3rd placer or some shit.
I
Like,
can
this
totally
is
see it.
this is the
Totally
future.
see it. Let's move on to Dwight at number 5.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know how I feel about Dwight. I mean, I just don't know.
I mean, like we said last week, he in theory should be in the power position on his tribe now, and since Jesse's kind of falling in line, honestly, with that. I mean, he should be the power position on his tribe. He has Noel in his back pocket, possibly too. So in theory, unless he overplays like Mike said last week, like Jesse did, then he should be in a good spot for now.
I like Dwight. You know what? I think overall my team's pretty dang good. Might be the highest average team sitting here. 5 is exactly where I ranked Dwight. I don't know if he has what it takes to necessarily win, but I genuinely think his biggest hurdle is making the merge. And at that point, I think there's a good chance that he'll be an endgame player from actually like what we've been shown strategically, not edits. I'm talking about what we've been shown people to be capable of, their alliances, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, this red and yellow tri bond, if it's a real thing, bodes well for bad for the blue tribe. And yet I still ranked a lot of the blue tribe highly as individuals. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have been worse with the blue tribe if they would have won again this week. But I still feel like with them losing, kind of maybe weakens that bond going forward, possibly. It's easy to say that tribe has never lost when we get to the merge. We got to go after them. But now, it might not be as strong. But I do like Dwight's position. I don't necessarily like him, but I do like his position.
I think he and Jesse are in control of the next votes on that tribe if they go to tribal. And therefore, I think him and Jesse should be the 2 highest ranked individuals on that team. So, I think he's in a safe spot right now. I think he's actually in a really safe spot right now.
why don't you like Dwight? What's wrong with Dwight?
I just don't like most of these people, Mike.
I get it.
This bootleg, great value cast, equate. I can't get behind it yet. It's just boring.
I feel like Dwight's pretty inoffensive as far as this cast goes, though. Like,
Yeah.
I feel he tried to work with someone, and then the next week he still tried to work with them. Like, he hasn't at this
That's
point
fair.
done anything dumb or overplayed. Like,
I think for me, he's just the JD archetype, and even though he is doing better as a player, he's far less entertaining. So, meh.
yeah, but like, I feel like the most entertaining players usually aren't playing the best games. I feel like I don't know.
But on a season with a lack of entertaining characters, it's more noticeable.
That's because they only cast super fans, and you're not going to get the people out there who are just running around having a good time, pissing people off. Like, because even like Cody, who is the closest we're getting to someone just running around having a good time, he's in his confessional like, I'm the puppet master. They all think I'm dumb, but I'm here to win the Survivor. Like, no, I'm going to get all the salespeople out because fuck salespeople. Am I right? Fellow non-salespeople. Like, no, he's not actually an interesting character because he's still a super fan. Stop only casting super fans. It's not good TV.
I never knew you were a thespian, Mike, with that acting. But I guess.
Yo, that fucking Cody impression was so on point right now, yo. It was ridiculous. Wow.
Any other thoughts on Dwight? All right. Well, that brings us to number 4, which is Allie, who I still don't like, but it is whatever. She has an edit, I suppose.
Who?
She has a winner's edit. She has a winner's edit, y'all. She is edited like a winner is edited. I think her or Carla, one of those two is going to win this whole season.
I mean, the biggest problem with Allie's edit has just been there's been a lot of negativity. So I don't know if she's quite edited like a winner on Survivor, but maybe.
Ellie is the Shan of the season. Carla is the winner. That's what I'm seeing. Ellie winning would be rad. I would win this. My official winner pick for like the subreddit and all that shit was Ellie, so I would win that. And yet, I still ranked her at 7 because so much negativity. The women are getting voted off left, right, and center. She, like, literally, if I'm literally just looking at how things should have work out, Ellie should be going soon if Yellow goes to tribal. I don't think she's going to go because they're shoving her down our throats, like she's 10 fish in a reward. But I'm not, I'm not sold. You haven't sold me, Survivor. Sell me. So I'm not ranking her this high despite her being on my team. I don't see it. Convince me.
I mean, I don't see her winning necessarily either. I mean, this is a reason, and I'm going to talk about this game when we get to Carla, but like, I'm having a hard time seeing a woman win this season, to be honest. I would be honestly surprised if a woman ends up winning this season. Now, I know we're going to get to the merge and a bunch of guys are going to go after each other and then a bunch of guys will be eliminated, but also a bunch of guys will probably make up the jury. And I just don't know if that bodes well for any woman that makes the final three as it is, to be honest. On Survivor.
Yes and no. I feel like what has worked against a lot of women on Survivor ever since Micronesia has been the fear of a all women's alliance. So the fact that the first 4 people voted out of the season have been women, I think bodes pretty well for the remaining women. Is this like some sort of fallacy? Perhaps. But like I feel like it's really easy to say, no, there's no women's alliance because there's like 3 times as many men. And then you look around at the final 4 and you're like the last guy and you're like, shit.
Wait,
what
so are you
happened?
saying that there's going to be a women's alliance?
I'm not sure it'll be a women's alliance so much
There's
as
not going to be a women's alliance. Not with these
egos of men targeting other men because it doesn't matter what you do or show by your actions or your words. It like people will alpha type personalities will try and get other alpha personalities out or whatever the hell. There's a better way of describing it because that shit ain't real. But like it's just like people. I think I don't know, man. That's the kind of people Survivor casts. I feel like some of them are gonna buy into that shit and like I want to run the show, so they're gonna target each other.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening. I do see it happening. I just don't know if a woman who makes the final 3 will get respect from the jury of this cast, but maybe. Maybe.
But whoever it is, that bitch gonna have to pull off some immaculate moves and like really be doing some shit.
Do you have any other thoughts on Allie? I mean, I could see her pulling off some immaculate moves. They might be more savage, and then that's another thing that happens to women players is that if they're savage, it gets held against them more often than if a guy is savage and they're considered a cutthroat good player. Okay, then we move on to number 3, which is Ryan.
Big Swole. I got Big Swole this season. Let's go.
Absolute beast, absolute legend. His duo partner didn't get voted out. He didn't get any votes. He didn't get seriously discussed as an option. Good shit from Ryan. Still ranking him in my top 3. Do I think he'll probably win? Probably not. But he's still a beast, and I'm paying him respect while he's here.
Yep, same. He definitely ain't gonna win. He too good. He like, and he know it too. He at tribal like, I catch fish. I climb up coconut trees and get coconuts down. I do everything for these bitches, you know. I'm like,
that will work for now, probably, but yeah, going forward, I don't know. But I was pleasantly surprised to see him on the right side of the vote, unlike Gio, who wasn't. So I mean, it has to speak to his social game. He might be more well-rounded than I thought he would be. Any other thoughts on Ryan? Well, that leaves us with my number 1. It's not Carla. It is James, who I think is the number 1 person coming out of this week. Because, I mean, this whole women's alliance forms, and he's at the bottom of it, and he's like, I'll go along with it. And then now I feel like he has way more control on this tribe than anyone now, thanks to Lindsay's paranoia. Yeah.
James is one of the few people I could genuinely see winning the game.
Yeah.
If your theory, Nick, of this jury that is probably going to be primarily men not wanting to give women credit at the end, someone like James could be sitting next to two women who perhaps make bigger moves. However, they vote James because James is a man, and I am not trying to preemptively take anything away from James. I think James is a really good player because he seems like the most chill person on that tribe. If I'm on this island, I want James as my ally so bad because he's so calm in every scene, even when he's like trying to calm down someone who's like absolutely losing their mind. He's just like, chill, girl, chill. Like, really well played. Like James is just like, leave that shit to me. And like everyone seems reassured by him all the time. I just think Lindsay was too in her head, but good sign from James that he is seen as this like wrangler of the paranoid already. So props to James.
I think he has that social game unlocked, but I also think I saw it in his eyes, something Jesse might not have. I think he has a killer instinct as well, for sure. He definitely had it in his eyes in this episode.
What make you think he had that killer instinct?
Well, he did what needed to be done this week and voted out the paranoia player. But I don't remember who he was talking to in a conversation. I assume it was Carla, probably. I don't know. I just saw it in his eyes. He has the look in his eyes that when a thing needs to be done, it's gonna get done by him. So, like,
No, I agree.
I think if he makes the end, I think he will have some big moves that he probably made in the game. Honestly,
Oh hell yeah! I want James to win.
yeah, kind of me too. But for now,
Right.
I have the podcast favorite this season. It happened. I have a beloved player on my team. God bless James.
number one, however, is Carla. This is a two of yours, number one. So let's hear why.
Okay. I mean, I said it earlier in the podcast. I'll say it again. I think Carla's winning this season. I would love to see James win the season. Could see him winning the season as well. Some others I've talked about back end. But like I said, gun to my head, I think it's probably Carla. I like what we've seen from Carla. It's been positive content. She seems to have her head in the game. She has an idol that nobody knows about unless they find out at the merge because she has the beads. But like, she has an idol. It's actually a hidden idol. She has strong allies. She's making decisions, it seems like, from the edit. Show me a downside to Carla.
I mean, honestly, there's not a downside to it. And I would like to see Carla win too.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's her edit. I just feel like her edit is giving very much fake out winner to me for whatever reason. But
They faked me out. That's what they did. They faked me out because this is like I'm getting winner vibes from her. I think if your theory holds true, where the guys kind of do the guy thing, I mean, to some degree, but then start turning on each other, I think Carla's actually, in theory, the best positioned of all the women in the game left, being tight with, big, strong players like Ryan and James, who are obviously super tight with her. I think if that prophecy comes to fruition, Carla's in the greatest spot ever to get to the end with a couple of guys. And if she can talk through her case, well, I think she's got a shot.
I mean, so far, so good for her. I can't complain about anything. Mike's right. There's not really a downside so far.
Yeah. Hey, one time for the motherfucking lesbians, yo. That's the way she should be working it. That's what I thought I was doing on Little Brother.
I'm not sure she should have gotten rid of Lindsay if it was her idea, because I do think Lindsay was loyal to her more than maybe like a Geo is loyal to her. So I think from a strictly numbers perspective, that's the one knock I'll give her, is I'm not crazy about her going. If she spearheaded the attack to get Lindsay out, I don't think that was a wise play at all.
I mean, there's a possible overplay. If we're going to give Jesse all this shit, it's a possible overplay, Mike.
Nope. Because now you got Gio and Cassidy at each other's throats. And in a tribe that you just whittled down to 5, that shit's as good as gold. Okay? That's what all I'm saying. That shit's as good as gold. Fantastic. I do think we could see this episode 1 chess analogy come to fruition where Carla is the queen. She moves around the board, slaying XYZ. I don't know, man. I don't play chess. And then the king is the really important piece, and that's James at the end, coming from the top rope in the finale episode to dethrone Carla and take home $1 million. Like,
Very
I
great
really
point.
think it's probably Carla or James with an outside shot at Ellie, just because they're trying to force feed us Ellie. That's where I'm sitting.
Or
at.
Sammy, and Boo Boo's going to win again. I could definitely see a Sammy win. To be
That's just because Boo Boo picked Sammy. No other reason. Just because Boo Boo has Sammy.
No, it's because they all think he's 22. That's why.
True. They think he's 22.
Any final thoughts on our rankings or the episode? I mean, I think just like we've been saying for a couple weeks now, bring the tribe swap back, because honestly, just going through these episodes, it's getting boring. It's getting very boring. Last night, having to watch this show, I was like, oh, I have to watch Survivor tonight, huh? That's how I was thinking about coming into watching Survivor. So, gonna need a switch up.
Damn.
At least Lindsay kept us on our toes by self-destructing.
True.
Because that wasn't something that was
Sure, I
on
didn't
the
see that
flow.
coming.
Like, of the flow of events that were destined to happen had she not spazzed out. It doesn't seem like she was going to be the one going.
I was glad to get a surprise. I was just still underwhelmed overall, though.
Yeah, they need to come a little harder.
All right. Well, until next week, we are at 3 teammates apiece. Oh, Fanguy, do you have a teaser for us?
Yeah, well, I mean, oh man, all I could think
Make
of
it
is
quick.
no,
Make it quick.
got nothing for y'all. Sorry, check out my channel.
Check out Josh.
Got lots for you over there.
All right. Until next time.